Good morning, everyone. Whoops. Facebook's doing all sorts of lovely things to us today. Just went live in another page of mine, and it's not giving us any of the features that we usually have to mirror the background and to tag people. And it's, anyway, to download the video after you posted it, it's not there. And now it's not even allowing me to go live. So I'm doing this video and I'll post it into the group for, well, when you're watching it now. So Mondays, I'll try and do a live topic every week. I was away for about 3 weeks there, but I'm back now. And this week I wanted to talk about the best alternatives to going legal. Now, when people join this group and they ask me for some resources, I try and send people towards resources that may be different, a little bit alternative, rather than going straight to a lawyer, because I do want people to try and resolve things in a way that is quick and cost effective. When you go to a lawyer, and there are some situations where you really do need to, but quite often a lawyer will position you and start taking you down a particular pathway, which actually there may be alternatives to that pathway. It might not be your only pathway. So that being said, let's talk about some alternatives. Now, if you're separating, for example, and the relationship has come to the end, but you generally know how you want to parent or how you want to divide things up generally, and you're not at each other's throats completely, you may be able to do the financial settlement process via an online sort of AI tool called Amica, as in amicable. Amica. So it eliminates having to talk to the other party too much, but it still requires both your cooperation. So that's why I say, if you're not at each other's throats and you generally have an idea about where you want to go, but you don't really want to deal with each other, you can do it all via this AI tool. You follow the prompts, it invites the other party to participate as well, and then they follow the prompts, and then it spits out what's fair. So you can go down that process. For other disputes or problems that you may have, the ombudsmans are actually really effective, and they do usually a free dispute resolution process. So particularly for small and family business, there is a small and family business ombudsman. So if you have a bit of a niggle inside your business with a business partner, or you have you run a family business of some kind and you have a dispute with another service provider, that ombudsman can be super helpful. Whereas if you're just an individual with a problem like a consumer problem or a housing problem, a problem with your phone, internet, water, utilities, financial products, they all have ombudsmans. So you can lodge a complaint with an ombudsman and they'll set up a dispute resolution process, whether it is like a on the phone mediation or whether they just sort of make a call to you, make a call to them, make a call to you, and they do a little bit of a shuttle phone thing. That can happen too. So ombudsman's are really effective. Now, Justice Connect is one of the community legal centres that has a lot of effective online tools. So for example, if you're dealing with fines, they've got a really great online system for helping you with that. They've also got, because it's called Justice Connect, they also try and connect you to the right thing that you need. So they can be a really good starting point. They have a pro bono scheme where some larger firms will pick up, like Justice Connect does the intake, and then some larger firms actually pick up and run those sorts of things pro bono. Now, the sorts of things that might be pro bono might be more human rights sort of issues, sexual harassment issues in a workplace that might be a bit more high profile. So those sorts of things, they don't generally do separations. Then coming back to some other services you could use instead of a lawyer, I really highly recommend that you do try a mediation first before going to a lawyer. For community disputes, there is the Dispute Settlement Centre in Victoria. They've got something similar in each state as well. Now, they can set up a mediation and do a dispute resolution for you. For separations, for workplaces, for contract issues, almost for anything else, you can also look for private mediation. So a mediator is not necessarily someone who's come through the legal industry. They could be someone who's come out of another industry, the building industry, engineers, psychologists, teachers, registrars, so all sorts of other professions come to mediation. The Mediation Institute keeps a really great list of accredited registered mediators. So the Mediation Institute might be a really great place to start narrowing down which mediator you might approach for a time frame and a quote. What a mediator then does is, if you decide to go ahead with them, they will contact the other person for you to invite them, and they'll do an intake process. If you want to do a similar process, but there is a place that is set up sort of a no cost and completely online process, it is called Interact Support. And again, mediations, lower cost, completely online. And they do family separations. So Interact Support is the one there to try. And then the final alternative to going legal that I wanted to talk about is collaborative practice. Now, when we talk about going legal, I'm talking more of a traditional route in this case, where you end up in court with a lawyer. Whereas with collaborative practice, if the dynamic and the facts are a bit more complex and you really feel like you do need a lawyer for support, you can look for a collaborative lawyer. So there are lawyers that are collaboratively trained. They generally register with the Collaborative Association in their state. So for example, in Victoria, the Victorian Association of Collaborative Practitioners has a list of us all on their website, and you can approach us directly, or you can ask the institute or the association to put you in touch. So what is a collaborative process? Well, it's a team of professionals that help you through. Rather than one single mediation, it usually is 3 to 5 meetings, and you have a team to help. So each person would have a lawyer, but in this sense, all the professionals, including the lawyers, sign an agreement with you to say that they are committed to this process, so much to the point that they will not represent you later if it does need to go to court. So it keeps them in the process, because it's too easy for them to go, oh, this is going nowhere, let's go to court. But they can't, because they've agreed that they can't do that. And the other people in the team include financial neutral. So quite often, particularly in separations, for example, you go all the way through a court process and you don't even get independent financial advice. So you don't know what the financial outcomes are going to be of the suggestions that a lawyer is making to you. So in this situation, you have an independent financial person on the team who is able to pretty much go through all the options with both of you. You also have a communication coach. So instead of a mediator, it is someone who gets down into it a little bit more. They're usually coming from a psychology background. So they will teach you how to say the things you need to say, and they will teach you quite a lot of dispute resolution tools and tactics, which you can actually use later on as well. So those are usually the core professionals that are involved. If there is a family business of some kind, you might also have a collaborative accountant come in, or we can pull in, we can get valuers to do their bit and those sorts of things as well. So there's another alternative to going all the way through a potentially damaging legal process, which can end up with your family potentially torn apart. Particularly when you're thinking about when someone has passed away and there's a dispute over what should be done, or in a situation where you're separating and you're still parents and you still have to have some kind of ongoing relationship. So I hope that that's helpful. It sort of sets you up to see that there are alternatives at the very least. I have a whole lot of these resources actually, and all the links and things inside my community hub, so you can head over there. The website is wise.legallywisewomen.com.au. So love to see you in that community as well. That's where I can help you more than just giving you these videos. Once you're inside the community hub, there's a lot more free resources than there are in this group. And of course, you can get more access to me there. So if there are any particular topics you want me to cover, let me know. Otherwise, I'll jump in again next Monday and do whatever topic I feel like. So catch you then. Bye.